Welcome to the Model Car Hobby Headquarters Unpodcast with your host, Luca C. Now here he is, Luca C.
Well, hello, my fellow car mailers. How you doing today? I have got a great guest today, someone who I fairly recently, on the past few months, I noticed him on YouTube and really liked the channel, and I wanted him to come on because if you guys haven't heard of model car videos, Matthew Inman, I love his channel. I found it a few months ago. How long have you been around, Matt? Here he is.
A little over a year, because I was counting down. I know it's been a little over a year because I counted down until monetization, and it took almost 1 year. And wow, monetization is the greatest thing ever, because now I'm rich. I got to quit my full-time job, and I'm just a full-time YouTuber.
Aren't you doing great? Have you flexed? Have you done a video and flexed and showed the Lamborghini in the garage?
No, I'm keeping it on the down low.
You just did it with me privately. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't let anybody know about that. Yeah, the riches are just pouring in. I got my AdSense check today, and I quit my job.
Yeah.
We're doing good. We're ready to rock. But yeah, I had to have you on. But there was something funny. I brought this up, and I've let people know my real name is Matt. And the first time I saw him, I happened to find his introductory video, and you were wearing a Circle K uniform, the maintenance crew uniform, and that's where I work. And your name was Matthew. It said it right there, and I'm like, hey, this is weird, but you're like the nice version of me.
Well, I'm on camera, so my wife may tell you something different for sure. With Circle K, I don't unfortunately, maybe I don't work for them anymore. I moved on to maybe greener pastures or bigger pastures.
Yeah.
So I'm just joking, guys. I am not full-time YouTuber. If I depended on this for my income, I would starve. So no. Luca, it's interesting when you opened up just and said model car videos, that channel name. When I started my channel, it was something like, I thought about it for maybe 5 minutes, and I thought, well, it's model cars and I make videos, so I should just call it model car videos. And I thought, it's it's simple and basic, but I didn't put much thought in it. But it really works, because that's the whole theme behind all of it. It's model car videos. A guy at work asked me, he's like, why did you name it that? I said, well, man, if someone searches on YouTube for model car videos, hopefully I'll be the top of the list. It'll be my channel name. So it was just something that I threw together on a whim. Didn't know anything about YouTube, but it's been so much fun since the start until now. I've had nothing but fun, and watch guys like you. And there's another guy that I won't mention, but HPI guy. Everybody knows who he is as well. So those you and him, you get the model juices rolling for us guys that have been out of the hobby for so long.
Thank you. Well, and you're one of them. I tell you, there's you, and there's old Tim up there in Kentucky, Throttle Power. You guys have really become probably my favorite model car YouTube channels now, next to mine, of course.
Yeah.
I have been having a ball watching you guys, but watching you guys, you really blasted up fast in the year. Both of you, he started around the same time. And you guys you're kicking out videos that are getting views. It took me a couple of years before I got there. And it's you hit at the right time. You guys both have your own thing. You're not just doing something that everybody else is doing. And I think that's a big part. And you have great personalities. And that was something that when I started watching your videos, I really liked your personality. I mean, you don't know nothing about Ed Roth. So you really, I think at this point, it's time to, back off, I think. But
well, I'm ignorant. I'm just so ignorant.
Right. You're ignorant. Yeah. What we're talking about, everybody, if you haven't watched. So you see that model in the background. He did a little haul. He went on vacation, picked up some models, and he was saying, "Hey, I don't know who Big Daddy Roth, Big Daddy Ed Roth is, And boy, the comments came out and they blasted you.
Yeah.
So. Yep. He did an update video. He just came out a couple days ago, reading the comments, and he knows about Ed Big Daddy Roth now. Schooled.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now we can let you into the community.
Well, I read some sympathizers. They sent some other comments, and they said, "Well, you're not a West Coast guy, Matt. You're an East Coast guy,
Oh,
so that's why you've never heard of him." So I'm on the East Coast. So
Okay.
who is this Ed Roth guy? He's a West Coast guy, I guess. That's a pass for me, I suppose.
I thought that whole thing, from when I saw the video when you said that, and I went, "Oh, I know what's going to happen," to then delightfully when I put my YouTube on the other day and there it was on my feed. I had to watch. I was looking forward to that. I just laughed through the whole thing. And I like how lighthearted you were about it and honest. And you sit there and you laugh. And then I said in a comment to you, what was the other guy? If you don't know Ed Roth,
Carl Casper.
you don't know who Carl Casper is. I don't either.
Oh, no. Like I said, the only Casper I know is a little white, floaty little ghost. That's the only Casper I knew of.
But your reaction was great. I just loved how you laughed and you just went, "I don't know."
That was an unrehearsed video. I promise. There was no rehearsal put forth in that. That was just natural reactions, and just to read them over, it cracked me up. And I can open that paper up right now and probably have the same laugh. You young whippersnappers, you.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know you. That was Charlie Mack, by the way. Charlie Mack says, "I don't even know you."
Oh yeah, that's funny. That's I liked how you took it, and it was just all around funny. You took that ball and ran with it. That was a great video. Smart putting that one up.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. So
and that's what you show. I notice a lot with your videos. You really project how much fun you're having, and that's what it's about. You just enjoy everything you do.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if it's not fun, why do it? That's the whole thing behind my passion, if you want to call it a passion, for building these cars. Is I like to do it because you even say it in why do we build these things? Because it's fun. Other people may not think it's fun, but I think it's fun, and I want to carry that over and show people that you can have so much fun doing this. And I can remember as a child doing it and then leaving it for so long and then coming back to it, and it's more fun now than it was then. I like to do it so much more now. I like to take more time with it. Obviously, I'm older, but yeah, it's a hobby that it never gets old. The next one I can't wait to get into. So it's something that's just so much fun. And if people would just try it instead of criticizing that and saying, "Oh, you're playing with toys," then they may have fun too.
Oh yeah, been hearing that one for years. Well, you brought it up. So what is your history with model cars? You started when you were young, you gave it up, and then you got back into it. What's the whole story? You getting into?
Yeah, looking back, I'm not sure what age I was when I started, but my dad always was a car guy. We were always in our workshop working on something. We were my background is VW Beetles. So VW Beetles, I know one from front to back, bottom to top, everything about them. That's all we did. We collected those things. We built them. We had dune buggies and such. But my dad, because he was a car guy, kept us in the workshop. We worked with our hands, and he also would always give me stories about how he would build model cars back in the 60s. And those things were so neat. I guess that's the catalyst. I think the first thing that I ever bought as a model was an SR-71 Blackbird. And I built that plane, no paint, anything like that, just glued it together. Moved on to cars then, and my dad would encourage me because, "Hey son, I remember this. He would give me stories about him building them and things like that. So having that heritage of my dad was a car guy fueled me to build those to show my dad, "Hey, look what I did. And he would, of course, my dad was very much of an encouragement. "Yeah, that looks great, son." So I would do that. That got me so interested in it. And my friends would also build. I had a couple of friends that would build. They put no time or effort into building their kits. They would just slap them together. And I've mentioned this in other videos. My friend, I'm not going to mention his name, but anyway, he built a 57 Chevy Revell, and it was yellow. The plastic was yellow. And he put it together, and it was all yellow. And I know people would do that, and that's fine. But I always wanted to make my kits look as real as possible. And at my age, it may not have looked so real. Looking back at some of the old stuff I have, it didn't look so great. But that, I went probably until my late teenage years. I moved out of the house. That house burned. So all of those things burned except for a few. Then I went a span of from, let's just say 17, 18 years to 40 or somewhere around there. And then I picked it back up. And it's as if I never, they say you can ride, if you can ride a bike, you always be able to ride a bike. Well, picking up the model hobby back up, it's like riding a bike. You don't forget the little things that you used to do, and then you excel on those and you continue to grow. So that's my history. It's really short and condensed, and it has a huge gap in the middle, but I have great memories doing it, and I'm building great memories doing it now. So it's bridging that gap, so to speak. And so I have a super condensed model, and I'm jealous of guys like you that can talk about Scale Auto, that can talk about these guys and these men, and these were all the leading names in the model car industry. I don't have any idea. Kind of like Ed Roth. Who's that guy? But I do know who George Barris is.
Oh.
And I would say that if you didn't know George Barris, you're a total moron,
Okay, well, you've redeemed yourself a little bit there then.
Yeah, my dad always let me know who George Barris built that. He built that. He built about everything.
Oh, heck.
I do know a few.
Yeah, especially with the movies and stuff. All the way up to like Fast and Furious, he was involved with.
Was he?
What was it that when you got back into it, say like you said around 40, what was it that sparked you say, I want to build a model car? Or was there a kit, or did you stumble across a certain kit? And what was that kit too?
Yeah, so my family and we lived in Tennessee for 5 years, East Tennessee, near Knoxville, Tennessee. And in Knoxville, there was a Hobbytown USA. And I would go into Hobbytown USA and look at the model kits. Although I was not back into modeling, I never stopped looking at them. I always kept my eye on them, but I never bought them. And Hobbytown USA, they had a Tamiya. I have it over here in I don't exactly remember what the bike is. It was a big motorcycle. It's like a 1/6 scale or something. It was really big. It was over $100 on sale. It was one of these really expensive ones. And I bought that kit, and I bought all the paints and things, and I sat down and built it. And that was it. That was the trigger that got me back into it. And I really don't care to build motorcycles. I've done a few, don't really care to do it. My mindset was, I want to build things that other people aren't building. Those boring cars all the time are just so boring. So I want to build, but it all came back, and muscle cars and old cars. That's all I want to build now. I don't want to build the motorcycles.
And when you're a car guy, you're always a car guy.
And I bought so many. My wife, it's a lot of fun, because I say it's a lot of fun to me, maybe not to her. But so the packages will come so frequently. She doesn't have to question what's in the box, because the shape of the box tells her exactly what the package is. And I've got quite a collection. I don't know how many. You've got quite a few more than I do, but mine is like, it feels good. I had a comment on one of the videos just recently, and they said that it's cool that you're wrapped with all of your model kits, because they go from one side to the other. They kind of go around me. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I like to collect them more than I like to build them.
That's fine. And I said this in videos a long time ago about like I do, my intention when I buy kits is to build, but there are a lot of kits I buy that I want on the shelf for the looks of it, and I collect it. Like with the Andy stash, there are a few I'm hauling home here in the next few days that I strictly just wanted up on the shelf, and I probably won't build. So the collecting thing, I definitely am for. I enjoy looking around the room and looking at kits, and I'm sure from you building when you were younger, there's a few kits that will spark a memory from when you built when you were a kid that you might either have you gotten or want to find, because you want them on the shelf, just because you just look at that box and it makes you feel neat.
Absolutely. And I've done that. There's a 32 Ford Vicky that I've got. That was one of my early builds. And there was a 1940 Ford truck, and I've got that kit as well. It'll never be built. I'll sit and I'll look at that box, and I'll have that warm fuzzy from that. I wouldn't get that from building it, because I don't remember building it. I remember seeing the box art and having that kit.
Yeah, exactly. I have the same thing. It's like my first model kit, car kit, that I wanted my dad took me into this hobby shop that I kept begging him to go into. And it was the Revell 56 Chevy. I don't even like 56 Chevys, by the way. I'll just put that out there. But it was Revell 56 Chevy because they just came out and it was painted blue on the box art. And I love the box art. And it was, was it blue or I got it over there? No, the 55 was blue. The 56 was green. I liked the way the green one looked. So that's why I picked it. Brought it home, opened it up, and it was that off-white, and I was upset about it. So yeah. I have those kits only because of that. I don't care about building them.
Yeah, no.
I like looking at them, and I got a lot like that. So your thing, you and I talked about that in your live stream, and you've said that before, how much you do enjoy the collecting of the. It's the box art, and that's what it is. It's art. You put it on the wall.
Yeah, it's. I don't know how to explain it, and that sounds stupid, but to a model guy, they kind of get it. But to have these, I want to look at these. Okay, so I've got these kits here that I've just recently got. I want to one day at least keep one or two of these, and one day look at those 30, 40 years from now and say, when I bought that kit, you won't believe how much I paid for it. I paid $10 at Ollie's, and because at that point, my kits are going to be either obsolete, not built anymore, or they're so expensive, that it's out of this world. So yeah, the buying, the collecting, not the buying. I don't like to spend money, but no. I like to spend money on things that I like. So the collecting part is the most fun to me. I'm running out of space, but that is definitely the most fun. Number two comes in a close second is building them. And yeah, that's the intent of my channel, is to build these things and share it with everyone.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. That's why I have, this wall behind me, and then it wraps around the room. I enjoy it. I love looking at my model kits. I remember, like you're saying, so you're, compared to me, you're new into the hobby. So you bought those kits for a reason, and you want to keep that one, and it got me thinking. I have kits up here that I remember that are like 30 or bought in the 80s or 30 years old or more, that I remember buying it to build it, what it felt like that day. I remember that day getting that kit. I see it on the shelf over here. And yeah, it gives you that, it's just a reminiscent thing. It's like listening to a classic song that, came out when you were in high school. It brings you right back to that time.
It's very nostalgic. Yeah, it brings back that memory. Smells do that, tastes do that, buying model kits do that.
Dude, and that's so cool. That is a great way of we just figured that out just here. I never thought of that analogy before, and that is true. It does. It sparks really good memories, and everything about this hobby. You have there's some bad ones, but for the most part, man, it's you have great memories, especially as you motor on through life and you've been in it longer and longer, and the people that you meet. And I'm sure you now have gotten friends that through the hobby. I have lots of friends that I'm friends with them because of the hobby. And it's bigger than just a plastic kit.
It absolutely is. And since we've started our Facebook, I say me and two other friends, we are the admins. So our Facebook channel or group is you wouldn't believe the people, just because they joined the group, that I would actually count them as friends now, because you do build a relationship with these people because you have a common bond, and that happens to be little plastic model kits, but it builds relationships. And I've got friends now all over the United States. I may never see them in person, but I have a bond with them because of this crazy little toy kit that I want to build, and this channel that I started, and this Facebook group that came from that. And it grows and it grows and it grows, and it exponentially. One day I can't imagine where this thing may end up. The same with your Facebook group. It's way bigger than mine is, but mine's coming up, and those guys have a place where they can come and they can share, and they feel comfortable in that platform. And they've got guys that will continually comment and talk with them about problems, issues, whatever. They're always going to be there because, again, of that commonality, that being a plastic model kit. It's so cool.
Oh, 100% with that. Yeah, I know it is. We have even like, and you and I've gotten to be friends with Tim from Throttle Power and Mark Batson. I just got off the phone with him. And by the way, Mark wanted to say, loved your last video. He laughed a lot and wanted to let you know that he's really enjoying your channel. You did a great job.
Oh,
So
well, that's
that comes
awesome.
from Mark.
Well, thank you.
Asked me to do that live here. Well, kind of live.
Yeah.
But
Well,
all of you
great.
guys, we're all starting to become good friends, which is really a lot of fun. And yeah, you're right. We make such great friendships through this commonality of the little plastic model car.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I want to say, Luca, or Matt, I'll call you Luca. You're Luca. You're Luca to me. Whatever.
It's great.
So whenever I reached out to you, and I may have mentioned this to you privately, but when I reached out to you at first to see if you would be on a live stream, I was so hesitant to do it because I thought, this is Luca C. He's got so much more going on. This is how people, this is what they think about you. He's got so much going on, he probably won't even respond. And I made the message and kind of gave you a backdoor way out in the message, like, it's okay if you don't want to send. And you responded, and it was like, yeah, I know who you are. I thought, this guy that I look up to knows who I am. He actually looks at my stuff on you, so when I did that, I was so hesitant, but you were just like, hey man, I'm just a normal guy. Of course I'll be on there. And so I don't ever want anyone to ever think, because I have at this point 4,500 subscribers, big deal. I'm just a normal guy doing normal things, playing with my little model kits, and never want anyone to ever think that, oh, he wouldn't talk to me. My Facebook group, I try my best to go on there and comment on as many as I can, because I want these guys to know that I want to be involved in these builds and to see their pictures and to hear their comments and things like that. So again, it's just something about this hobby. Maybe other hobbies do the same, but this hobby, we have a passion, us car guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it draws us together. It is, and again, I can't say any more about that. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, totally. And that's what fuels us to do these YouTube channels. And what you thought about me and all that. I mean, there's people that are now looking at you thinking the same. I mean, you're rising, you're shooting up pretty fast up in the YouTubes, which I think definitely is well deserved. I like I said, I really do enjoy your channel. You got it. You have your own thing that makes it unique, and that's what makes the channels, all of us, we're all kind of like doing our own unique thing. And I can see a change from when I started in YouTube. There wasn't a lot of model car content. It was really hard to get going, but now there's more model car content on YouTube, and there's some really good quality ones really raising to the top that you guys are growing faster than I did, and for good reason. I mean, you guys are putting out really good content, and it's all something different, and we all can take something from that. Everybody, when you're in this hobby, you can get it's all about inspiration, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
Just and you are definitely you're out there inspiring people. That you inspired me on stuff. I mean, your video yesterday just made me crack up. That's inspirational.
if we were all the same, it would be such a boring world.
Horribly.
So yeah, it's so nice to have a personality, and yours is not like mine.
Yes.
I just, to be honest with you, when I make a video, I get comments like on my build videos that I've had comments like, you make me feel like I'm sitting there beside you while you're doing this. It's like, but I didn't really think that as I was making the video. I just was building the car and somewhat trying to give a bit of commentary. But my personality, I guess, is maybe what makes them feel, that's just me. If you were to come to my house, I'm gonna let you come in. It's just, that's my personality. I try to be as hospitable as possible. Sometimes my wife gets a little sick of the hospitality, but anyway, that's the kind of guy I am. And I think that our personalities come through on these YouTube channels. Yours does. I've talked to you in person, and you're the same exact guy as is when you're making a video. So yeah.
Likewise, I think that was the key. And I got the person that I got to give credit to on that got me into YouTube was Andy from Andy's Hobby Headquarters. And that same stuff, I remember watching it happen to him when he started. And I knew Andy for so many years. He was totally genuine on his channel. And that's what he said. He says, you just got to be you. And, you know, the people that everybody, he says, everybody thinks that, you know, they look at me as their buddy because that's how I treat them through the screen. And
yeah,
I took that into my channel. You're naturally doing it. Tim's naturally doing it. Mark's naturally doing everybody who's getting in on this. And there's so many other guys I've been meeting and making contact with. And I just think there's plenty of room for all of us. First of all, it's stupid definitely to have this, you know, anybody who would be, I'm in competition. It's ridiculous. Yeah. We love the hobby and we express it and share it with everyone else. It's just a way to get out to everyone.
Right. Yeah. I watch, even though I don't like building planes or tanks or any of those things, Andy, because he has such a genuinely nice guy personality, I enjoy watching his videos. And I could care less about those things that he's building because they don't fit my narrative. You know, they're not the toys that I want to build, but his personality is great. And I could see why he has shot through the roof with subscribers. I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, he had the right personality. And sometimes, you know, some people, you know, they try to come on this, it's not successful for them and it wasn't their thing. Some people are just natural. And I think, you know, it shows in how quick not necessarily as quick, but yeah, how you get the subs, how you get better known. Like your videos. One thing that I noticed about your videos that I can't do, I try to do a little bit more. I do so much editing, and you are able to kick out a video, not have to cut a thing, and you put it out there, and it's great. I envy that.
Maybe I'm lazy at my editing. I just let it all go out. Sometimes I want to cut some things out when I watch the video later, and I should have cut them out, but nah, it's easy. My editing software makes it easy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got a natural flow about it though, but that's cool. And you got a neat background there too. Your little, like what is that you told me what you have there, what your room is?
It's a shipping container, big 40 feet long metal box shipping container.
Whatever it takes, right?
Whatever it takes. Hey, it'll take a hurricane or a tornado. I think I'd be okay.
That's not going to move anywhere.
As long as my model kits are safe.
You're airtight, watertight, wind tight there.
That's right. If a tornado ever comes towards our house, honey, kids, come into the model room.
Yeah, exactly. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be all right. That's right. Hey, I want to ask you something, Luca, about those kits that you and Andy have gone through.
Ask away.
And I try to contain my emotions when I'm watching those videos because I think that's not fair. I can't afford to fly to Phoenix, and then I can't afford to rent a U-Haul truck to drive back with all the model kits I would want to buy. How do you refrain from buying, or other than just not having enough money? But how do you refrain from just going crazy? Or have you? I want to know how many of these are coming home.
There will be a video. I will tell you, it is a stretch. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm honored that Andy asked me to help with this. I've always helped Andy out with car stuff long before YouTube for all of us, and you know, in the early days. He's always kind of, we developed a friendship, and he had a trust with me with my car sense, because he just isn't a car guy at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes to the point that I'll ramble on and I'll watch him glaze over and just go, as I explain the inner workings of a 1981 Camaro. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But he asked me to come and help him. So he knew, you know, not only just values and what they were, if it was something, you know, we've been also finding a lot of parts that would be scattered, and I was able to actually put kits together.
Yeah.
So it was exciting, the big thing that he said to me is, this is going to be great content for your channel. He wanted me to do videos. He opened up his place for me to come in there freely, do all the videos. That was definitely, that's an opportunity that you got to take. But yeah, now we start getting into the nuts and bolts of all these kits. Oh, I've wanted that one. Oh, I want. Oh my goodness, I want it. And I do have a pile in his bathroom back there, his personal bathroom where nobody can go. There's a pile there. I'm a little scared. We haven't gone through it yet. I'm a little frightened. I also kind of was taking, because there was such a multitude of there was multitudes of the same kit of so many things.
Yeah.
That I was like, you know what? This one has a started engine. I'll take that. Not only the fact that I'll take the garbage because it'll be cheaper for me, but also fact it's just like, let him sell off the better stuff and let that go out to people out there. It's very difficult. I was over there yesterday, and again, there was a kit that I saw that I kept going, no, you have enough. And I got thinking about it, and I asked him, have you sold that kit? And I went there frantically searching the entire store for that kit, and apparently he has sold it, and I regret not. But it's like, and then I went back and I looked at my stash that's building up. I go, I don't need it. I don't need it. So yes, as we all have that problem. It is definitely a tough one. I'm OCDing like crazy, and I've already brought some stuff home, and I have a box. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where I'm going to put this stash that I'm bringing home. It's going to be a heck of a video. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
I tell you, when you brought the little stash you got from your trip, and I love that video. That was great. And you were all giddy about that Palmyra car. What's the one you had? There was a Thunderbird, right?
Yeah, here it is.
And
it's
and then you saw my video, the Jaguar. Jaguar. So what was funny about that is I came home from Andy's, your video was up, and I watched it, and I had just found that, because we're finding Palmyra kits. We got a few of them. And Andy goes, what's this? And I says, well, it's a Palmyra. I mean, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
They're well, I say Palmyra, gosh, they're Palmer kits.
Yeah.
Palmer kits they're Palmer kits. And so I found that one, and I come home and I see your video, and I go, I got to go back and do a video on that kit then and dedicate it to you, because I loved how you just loved getting that kit. You enjoyed that kit so much for what it was, for the history.
Yeah. Right.
I thought that was so neat. And that's why I honored that video to you, because your enthusiasm showed a lot in that video. You were just enthusiastic about those kits you got, even from the guy you don't know.
Yeah. We were having, I was having so much fun going to those antique malls, and my two daughters, Ruthie and Ellie, 12 and 14. We would have like a huddle before we went in. I said, girls, what are we looking for? Model kits. And so we walked into this model. I wish it was a model antique mall, but it was an antique mall. And the first booth we come to, my daughter Ruthie points and said, Daddy, there's one. And it was that Palmer kit. And I said, oh my goodness, because I could look at the box and tell that it was old. And so then the first thing you do when you grab it, you shake it to see if there's any contents. And I think for the most part, it's all there. And it was it was a lot of fun. I was so excited. It's a piece of junk from what I hear. I would never put it together or even attempt it, but it just is the fact that it's old, it's cool. Who's owned it? Who bought it? What little kid bought that one day? And now they're as old as my parents. So
yeah,
so cool.
And you created a fantastic family memory with that kit, because you had two girls involved in it, and that's something you bring up on your channel. I think it's so neat how you have your two girls involved with so much. You had them in some of your videos grabbing kits over at Ollie's, and I think whether they become model builders or not, it doesn't matter. They're going to remember these great times they had with Dad, and they're going to have fond memories of model car kits, that it will inspire them to do other things. It's like I did a video about my daughter. She was so involved with the hobby with me. She doesn't build model cars, but now she does things that are really neat because of it. And you're going to see that with your girls. I think it's so neat how you got them involved in your channel.
Yeah. Us model car guys can sometimes isolate ourselves from our families because of the hobby. No, don't do that. Try to incorporate them into it. And they may not want to do it. My Ruthie, she's built a couple. She built a boat. She built some other things. Now she's becoming a little bit more mature of a teenager. So she likes the makeup and the this and that. So she's probably not going to build another one. It was fun while it lasted. My youngest daughter, Ellie, is mortified when the camera, even if she thinks that I'm going to pan her direction, she runs. And but she's been around this, and one day when I'm gone, she'll see a model kit and it'll bring back memories. So
it will definitely. And like my daughter, we just talked about it the other day about all the collection, the kits and all that stuff. And she comes in this room and there's stuff that sparks a memory from when she was little, and now she sees her son. Where is he? Over there, doing the same thing she did. With like my tires. I have this bucket of tires that my little girl used to sit there and she called it counting tires, and she'd stack them up and she kind of, well, he started doing it. I go, Denise, you got to come here. He's counting tires. And it's just, cool. You're right. And having them come in. I was working on my model last night. I'm trying to do a build video. I'm just gonna say that. And here comes Felix, and he was like right here, and he was doing his little talking and grabbing a couple, nothing bad. He's just like, he was playing with my tape, my masking tape. And we're just talking back and forth, and he's watching me build. And it was neat, So great to get the kids involved.
It is. And I'm so glad that my dad did that with me. Yeah. And then I attempted at least to do it with my son. Also built some. He was not quite as interested in it as Ruthie was, or at least Ruthie wanted to sit by daddy for longer. But that's whatever it takes. If you can incorporate your family into your hobby, it just makes it so much more fun. And those memories are then built, and they never go away.
No,
they'll be retained until we're gone.
Yeah, you had that little trip to Ollie's. You had your whole family there. Even you pan by your wife. Oh, she doesn't want to be on camera. I saw her laugh a little.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time. That's a cool way of just, that's the positives of this hobby, whether the people that are around us even know anything about cars or care about cars or care about models, still have it to where it's a positive thing with the rest of the family is such a cool gift.
Yeah. So just recently I finished the 66 442, the convertible, and it's got quite a bit of chrome on it I do bare metal foil.
Yeah.
And my wife Heather was out here sitting beside me. So I'll try, like, just come on out, honey, we'll talk. And she was sitting here, and I kind of didn't need her to, but I said, here, honey, hold this while while I put this foil on there. So I tried to get her to help me, and she did. She held on to the body while I'm doing this, and I could have done it myself, but I wanted her to actually, against her will or what, I don't care. She actually helped me with the model kit, and I can always point back and say, you remember that time you helped me?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. That's great that you've got a supportive family behind you and doing all this and doing the videos, sharing your part of the hobby with the world. And like you were saying, you don't have the background or you weren't around and have all that stuff, the knowledge of scale auto and all, like the stuff that I was doing. But I think that's a part of the wholesome and good coolness of your channel, is you're kind of to some of us other guys, you're a newbie to this, and you have kind of that, I don't know, that I'm new to this kind of look and feel about your videos. I think it's neat. I think it adds something to your videos where you're discovering new things all the time.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't have told you what a Johan model kit was. I'd never seen those. I missed that. That was gone, and it's just something. My friend Chris Callan that comes on my live streams with me, and one of the admins on our Facebook group, he's not ever stopped. He's like you. He started back in the 80s. He's never stopped. He knows all those things. He knows about all those kits. He'll see something and say, oh, I built that kit when I was a kid. Oh, I built that kit when I was a kid, and things like that. And so that depth is lacking, but yet no part of the passion on my part is lacking. I just don't have the background. So, hey, it's all good. We all have to learn. It just comes at different times.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what I meant. I think that shows through your channel. And I think that's what gives your channel a special glow to it. Just kind of looking at the hobby. It's nice for us old timers who've been doing it for a while to kind of look at the hobby through the eyes of someone who's really just come into it. I'm not sure how many years you've been doing it, but a lot less really than most of us. And
yeah,
your enthusiasm is pegged out at $7-8 grand. So I think it's a refreshing new thing. So I want you to keep it up. I enjoy your channel. If you guys have not checked out Matthew's channel, it's Model Car Videos. You can't get easier than that. Model Car Videos. That's I saw that and I thought, well, this guy's brilliant.
I don't know about that.
You kind of Forrest Gumped your way into it then, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
But that's awesome. You guys got to check the video out, his channel out, and all his videos. I would go all the way to the beginning and go through all his videos. They're fun. They're neat. His very first one, I got a kick out of it for a personal reason, but it was just neat. He came on, had no idea what he was going to do. He was flat out the most sincere, honest little video I ever saw of, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. Let's give this a shot. It was kind of your whole thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was wonderful. And I really suggest all you people out there, if you haven't, please go check it out. Like and subscribe his channel. Let's get him to start going through the roof on even more subs. That helps us all out on YouTube. We need positive, great content like this, especially for our hobby. It's really cool. And I'm so glad you did this. And it created, I got a new model car friend, so that's cool.
Yeah, and you've been a great influencer. So when I got back in the hobby again, you were one of the guys who I found on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I was a bit jealous, Luca, because when I first started my channel, I would intentionally search. I would sign out of YouTube so it wouldn't know my history, and I would intentionally search model car videos, and the Luca C channel would be what would be on the top of the list. And I was so jealous, but now if you do it, I think I'm ahead of you, at least on that title search. So,
well, you picked the right video. I'm telling the right name. I mean, you can when I found you, it was like that. Actually, that's how I found you. I think I want to see if there's some new channels. I'm always searching for new channels. Check out what's going on in our little neck of the woods in YouTube world. And I put model car videos, and there you were in your first video. And I watched it, and I laughed. Oh boy! And he's been doing it for a year. And I went on there. I went through your whole catalog. I didn't watch everything. I just was zooming through it. Oh, he's still doing it. And then I saw, wow, okay, this is where I got a little jealous. I'm going to tell you this. I got a little jealous of you because you had some videos out at the same time I had videos out, and you were kicking my butt in views. I'm going to tell you that. You and Tim, you guys were kicking my butt in views. Oh, I might be getting knocked off my pedestal here, huh?
That's exactly why I thought you may not respond to my invite to my live channel, but you didn't. So
not at all, man. You probably were going to hear from me anytime, right when because I remember when I got that message from you, I was at work, and it's like, okay, I got to go to the back. I'll talk to you guys later. I walked in the back immediately and had to respond because I was like, yeah, cool. I was glad you contacted me. You want me to live stream with you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you to do this. I tell you. And Tim, he sent me a text today. He finally got his
camera.
So
I'm gonna
get him on this week.
Well, good.
And then maybe someday we'll all get together, do live streams and do podcasts and stuff like this together. That's
so much fun.
Yeah, we can all just do so much together to grow this hobby, because that's why we're doing it. Our love for this hobby, and we all have our little take on it. And man, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a blast.
Absolutely. I know the superstar Lucas C. And that just makes it all worth the while. My daughter, on the night that I sent you that text or that message on Facebook, and you responded, and I told my daughter Ruthie, I said, guess who's going to be on my live stream? I didn't in any way let her know who I was talking about. She said, Luca? I said, yeah, that's right. So, and then we were talking one day, and I had on speakerphone, and she just smiled. It was a grin from ear to ear, because she knows your voice. You know, she has to watch your videos because I control the remote.
That's yeah. Well, Dad, that's cool. I'm very honored of that. That makes me feel. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. And you're gonna start getting that same thing. There's gonna be new people coming in. They're gonna look at you that way. And I'll tell you what. One thing that's gonna happen, because I know there's going to be a model show that a bunch of us are going to roll into together. And wow, what a crew. And we come into that model show with you, see what happens. It's
yeah.
Blast. We could, like the Atlanta show, man. That's the big one. I want to go to it. I know Mark goes to it. Tim wants to go to it. A bunch of other guys want to go to that. We walk into that. That's going to be, I can't wait for those days when we get to do some model car shows together. That's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
And then all doing our videos, and we can all be in each other's videos of the same show. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's a big dream of mine. We're going to do that. I know you and I are going to meet. All of us are going to meet, and we're going to have a ball together.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for coming on to my little Unpodcast. And I want to do more of these. I want to have you on again, just so we can talk about model cars. That's what we do, right?
That's right. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Totally. Thanks for coming on. It's both ways here. But the one thing, what happens here. What do I ask my guests on the Unpodcast to do?
Yeah, you want them to close it out, and you want to say something like just what? Sometimes you say, keep gluing those fingers together and keep hammering that styrene.
Got another Aaron? Is that what? Do I got to make a T-shirt now?
Oh well, yeah, and build them because darn it, they're just fun.
They're freaking fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Well, Matthew, thank you a bunch. Again, I'm going to say one last time to everybody: get over there, sub to his channel, watch his channel. You're going to enjoy it. I guarantee you. If I enjoy it, and I'm just a big meanie, you're going to really enjoy it. So get over there. Go now. Hurry up. And we'll see you guys in the next Unpodcast. Here's the producers.